and welcome back to another interview, another chat, another remote chat for the Romford Film Festival, which is currently will be when this goes out. It'll probably be on, or it'll be on in a day or so. But obviously, Friday the 24th through to Tuesday the 28th, you can go and see hundreds and hundreds of shots and features. Awesome, awesome projects. I believe this is the strongest year we've had since I've been on the festival. So that's awesome. Please do go and check everything out. But on Tuesday, the 28th, last day of the festival, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Screen 8, we are going to have a bunch of shorts. I believe there's a feature in there as well, but it's mostly shorts called The Interpreter. And right now, I am talking to writer, producer, lead actress, sang the theme tune, wrote the theme tune, yeah. Yasmine Alice. How are you tonight? Everything good?
I'm doing fantastic. I do have to say I didn't write the theme song because my composer will be mad at me if I let that slide.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you don't want to be taking someone else's credit, but we can pretend. But so Yasmine, let's do this. But before I get into it, one of the things that I don't really get to do when I'm down at the festival, when I'm doing the Q&As, is dive a little bit deeper in terms of how you got into the industry and everything. Because usually you're on a panel with like 4 or 5 other directors, so we kind of have to spread out a little bit. But here we are today. We can 100% do that. So tell me a little bit about your backstory and how you got into the filmmaking game and why the bloody hell you would want to.
That's a good question, actually. What's wrong with us? Anywho, I started off as an entertainment news correspondent, aka TV reporter,
Nice.
for my country, Turkey, reporting from England in year 2015. So I've been in the game for like 9 years, and from TV reporting, I have found out that being in front of camera is fun, and I, attempted a little bit of acting and then became a professional actress, got myself an agent, and it was during COVID times that I thought I might write something, and then I just got a bit of funding and I did a film. Then I was like, oh my God, I think I'm a producer. This is called producing that I'm doing. So that was that film, and then 11 short films later, here we are with Interpreter. Yeah. And then I'm currently in pre-production for my first feature film, and I've got 2 others in development, one which received development funding. Hopefully one day you can interview me as not an indie film producer, but one of those shots. That's what I'm hoping for.
I 100% believe after seeing The Interpreter, both in front of and the written work, it's a given. That's going to happen for you, absolutely. And at that point, you won't be taking my calls, so don't worry. And where did The Interpreter come from? Because you wrote this and took it to the director, didn't you? I read that somewhere, that you kind of ran up to him and said, let's make this. So where did this story come from, and why was it time for you to tell this story?
Right. Okay, so round about the time when I started TV reporting was the time that I quit my full-time job as a trainee solicitor. I was working in the legal industry as a lawyer, and that wasn't meant to be me. And when I made the transition into the film and TV industry, I only had a part-time job as a TV reporter. I thought a little bit of extra income wouldn't hurt. Saw this ad. They were looking for Turkish-speaking interpreters. I applied, got accepted within like an hour. It was like really weird. They were like, I was like, I've got a law degree. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Like they didn't really care. I think there was some desperate need for interpreters at the time, for the NHS, for the governments, for the councils, for the police stations. And yeah, this is what I started doing. And about the rest of the second part of the question that you asked, me and the director are friends, and we were just sitting down, and I don't know, it was just this like conversation about interesting experiences that we've had. And I was telling him about a patient that had schizophrenia, and the kind of things that he would tell me. It was originally a he, and then I decided to write Kamelya's story and make her a woman. And yeah, it just kind of happened. And I wrote the script, did first draft within like maybe 2 hours, and then sent it to a few people, made a few changes, and that was it.
So before we talk a little bit more about the story, how is that job to do? Like, because it's painted quite grimly in a way in the shot, and rightly so, because I would not want to be doing that job at all, ever. Please. I hope things don't get so bad that I need to. But what was that job like, and getting those experiences, and then knowing that when you come to write this script, you kind of have to do it justice?
Yeah. It wasn't easy for someone like me who has had zero training. Yeah. And it's not easy for the patients who are not getting sufficient amount of care. And it's also not easy for the doctors who don't have time, who don't make enough money, who personally also need that mental health support. So I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but the lack of resources and lack of funding from the government. You know, I'm not trying to make the doctors look like the enemy here either. And that's why when people watch the film, there's a line the doctor says, I need support. And second, are we back?
Yeah, yes, we're back.
Yes, we're back. The line of I need support from Dr. Kofi is what's really, really important. And yeah, that's what the film is about. Because for me as an interpreter back in the day, having those experiences, and I've had so much worse. It's just, it wasn't suitable for cinemas. And I wanted to put it somewhat PG. But yeah, it was hard to handle for someone like me who's not trained.
I can imagine. And then when you come to putting that on the screen, I'm imagining it's hard days, it's quite grueling days, it's not easy work to do. Of course, you're making a movie, you're trying to do the best you possibly can with it. How do you lighten the mood after takes or during take, like after the take? Like, are you able to relax a little bit and just be like, let's go and have a cuppa and a cuddle?
No. No such thing. The shocking thing is we've made this film in one day.
Wow.
So, yeah, what was it? 13 pages, 14 pages in one day? We're crazy like that. What do you do if you don't have the money for like 3-4 days? Do you just sit and not do any films? I mean, I've just won London Film Festival with, London Independent Film Festival with this film, like Best Short Film Award. It's worth it. I'm going to Romford Film Festival. We went to Florida with Sunscreen, and we've just started our film festival journey. So I'm a big promoter of just go out there and do it. Just ask for people's help. Obviously, I want to pay people fairly, but if I gotta say, hey, 100 quid a day, can you come help out? Better than nothing. People can pick and choose if they want to do that job or not.
Absolutely. And your lead actress, how did you come across your lead actress?
It's me.
I know it's you. But with you having had those experiences yourself, was there ever an idea that maybe you wouldn't play that role and you would have someone else come in?
That was the goal, actually. It's quite interesting that you've asked me that question. That was my goal. I didn't want to play this character. I wanted to play the schizophrenic patient.
Oh,
but
nice.
Then I took a chance on asking a few Turkish actresses to send in audition tapes for the role of Kamelya. And then Eda sent an audition tape, and me and the director, chills on chills. Like, her performance is so good. She's an amazing actress. She's also like really big in the theater world. And I was like, you know what? She can have my role. I'm going to play the interpreter. And the director was really adamant. The director was really adamant that I played the interpreter as well. So, it just made sense.
Is there any one moment, because it is a hard hitting shot, and rightly so, it absolutely should be. It smacks in all the right places. Every beat that you're supposed to get and be hurt by, you are hurt by. Every beat you're supposed to get and just feel sympathy for people, you absolutely do. Well, not sympathy, but you're empathetic towards them. So the whole thing works as just what it is. But when you watch this film and you see it up on the screen, you're winning awards now and everything like that. But when you see it up there, is there any one moment that you think stands out as we absolutely nailed that? I'm totally proud of what happened that day. That looks amazing.
Ooh. I think there's a moment, spoiler alert, where our schizophrenic patient has to be kind of,
Yeah.
What do you call it? So she needs to be put on the floor and she needs to be calmed down. That moment is wow. Like on the film set, the crew were just silent and they were just stood there like, what did we just see? And it translated onto the screen. I'm a big fan of my actress, so shout out to Edda.
She's great. She's so good. She is so good, and I think the husband and wife as well in the next scene, they are both excellent as well, and it's painful to watch because they are so good. It's a painful watch, but also strangely quite a rewarding watch, if you know what I mean. And I don't know why that is, but it was. would you would you be interested in diving into this world again for another show, or blowing it up into, I don't know, like it could maybe work as like a TV series or a feature? Like, would you ever go back here, or is this the interpreter? Is this told and done?
So many people have asked me this question. It's really strange. Obviously, I am a writer. I enjoy writing. I could turn it into a feature film if needed. But the short film, as is, works. And when people want to make their first short film, I always tell them, forget about this whole idea of proof of concept. Your short film needs to work on its own accord. Otherwise, you're not going to win awards. You're not going to go to any screenings. And if you're not getting the, if you're not being seen, then it's not going to work as a proof of concept either. So I'm open-minded. If someone was to come to me and say, here's £1 million, let's make it into a feature. Yeah, I'll sit down and write it. Until then, I've got, another feature film in pre-production. So a bit busy.
We'll get to that in a second, although I've got a feeling you won't tell me anything about it. But on that as well, you're absolutely right. Sometimes people do make these shorts, and I mean, I have to watch hundreds and hundreds for the festival, and I'll kind of work a little bit with some other festivals as well, so I'm watching some of their stuff, and it's kind of like sometimes it can be like, this is good, but there's more, and with the interpreter, I do think it's absolutely standalone, but you could also maybe dive into the universe in a different story and sort of play around that way, and that's what I liked about your show, plus the fact that it had me at the verge of tears, so that's always a winner for me. That's always a winner. What do you're writer, producer, lead actress, what's your favorite cap to wear?
Always an actress, of course. But the truth is, I was born to be a producer. I just didn't know. My biggest dream in life, what gives me the drive, the reason for getting up in the morning, is always acting. And when I realized that I'm not booking lead roles, like I'm booking stuff. Yeah. Thank you to my agents out there. But I haven't booked anything so major that I could be like, I'm that girl in that TV show. No, I am in that TV show, but I probably am there for like 10 seconds. And then when I started producing, it kind of was like, oh, that got funded, and then that got funded. And now this is happening, and I've applied for a TV show. I'm currently working on A Place in the Sun for Channel 4. I'm working in production, and I've been watching A Place in the Sun for many years, and now I'm working on it. So I'm kind of like, okay, this is fun. But yeah, I guess I love producing as well, and if needed, I will give myself those roles.
But surely the main dream is Homes Under the Hammer, right? Over on BBC One. That's my favorite TV show of all time.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's not at all, to be honest. So your short is on the festival run, and again, you've won an award recently, which is unbelievable to hear. I'm so happy for you, and massive congratulations there. What kind of things have you heard people say when leaving a screening, or they've come up to you and they've spoken about the interpreter? What kind of things do you hear people say?
Oh, this is a sad one. I've been filming abroad for quite a few weeks. I've missed two of my screenings, and yeah, I don't know, but my teammates have told me that reactions have been very good. I did do a private premiere. I mean, when I say private, I did invite quite a lot of people, and everyone was in awe. Everybody was congratulating me, and obviously they are my friends, so I thought maybe they're being nice. But yeah, I think the reactions have been quite good, and a lot of people wanted to review the film, and the reviews have been extremely positive, and I'm quite proud.
And what do you, seeing as you haven't really had a chance to sit down and sort of see people coming out of the screen, what do you really hope people get from your show when they watch it? What do you hope they come away with, if anything?
I want them to understand the message. There's a very clear message of the film that the NHS is struggling. There's not enough funds. And I'm just looking at a very, very specific point in NHS. There's obviously many, many issues, but I'm looking at a very, very small part of that. So yeah, that's it.
So take that message, people. When you come and watch it on Tuesday, the 28th of May, take that message. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I've got to do my business every now and then. Screen 8, you absolutely have to check this out. I think everybody's going to really take to this, and it's a thinker. It definitely is a thinker. And when you walk away from it, you'll be thinking about it a couple hours later. You will be. I know I was, so I can say that with conviction. So what's next? What's Yasmine got next? I know you're not going to tell me about this feature you've got, but what are you working on? Anything you can tell us about, or like you got many more shorts coming up?
So I did say to myself, I don't want to do any more short films, but I've got one more. I do have one more, and it is a Nigerian folktale meets sci-fi. So yeah, it's very interesting. And I've got three feature films in development, and one feature film kind of in soft pre-production, waiting for paperwork. So yeah, my biggest goal is to get my first feature film as a producer. I've done quite a few as an actress, but it would be amazing to do one as a producer. I don't think I'm going to have the biggest budget in the world, but yeah, you got to start somewhere.
If you could go back and give Yasmine from a few years back one bit of crucial advice, because one thing that I'm really loving about your vibe while talking to you is you're very busy, you want to stay busy, you want to remain active. That's absolutely brilliant. I love that. Don't ever lose that, because the passion's what it needs to be. But if you could go back and give yourself a little bit of advice that you maybe weren't given at the start, what would it be for anyone budding, any young filmmaker that wants to come in?
If you're a filmmaker and you're new in the industry, choose the people that you work with very carefully. You're going to be spending so much time with these people. It's kind of like even dating, and especially the relationship between your lead actors, the director, the writer, sometimes heads of department. And if you want to go down the path of producing, make sure you've got paperwork in place, contract. Go, I don't know, talk to talk to the writers union, talk to equity, and they will send you those contracts for free. I've just gotten some of my contracts from the writers union to give to my brilliant writer for my next feature film. You know, make sure that you're doing the legals correctly, because you don't want to learn the hard way. Mm-hmm.
Coming from a solicitor as well, or an ex-solicitor.
Didn't qualify, but yeah.
We don't need to tell people that. So I do have one last question before we wrap this out, and it is a question that I like to put everyone on the spot with, but I think you might take to it. But before we get there, do me a favor and let people know where they can find you on social media and whatnot, find your work, any websites, and more importantly, once the Interpreter is done with the festival run, where they're going to be able to find that if possible.
Yeah, so if you guys want to follow me, I'm Yasmine Ellis, which is I am Yasmine Ellis, and my production company is called Bastet Productions. Bastet is the name of the Egyptian goddess of fertility and prosperity. So yeah, Bastet Productions. I'm on all social media, and we've got websites. And if you want to pitch me any ideas for a film, go ahead and do that. I love to read those emails. I don't accept scripts. Just send me a log line or a synopsis. And yeah, hopefully Interpreter will go on to Omeletto. I haven't applied yet, but one of my previous films is now available to be watched on Omeletto. It's called Hackney Downs. It's both BAFTA and BIFA qualified, so people can go and watch that as well, and the Interpreter will hopefully end up there.
Well, that's what I'll be doing after this chat. I'm going to go and give that a watch as well. Now, the last question I have for you, and it's a good one, by the way. It's a really good one. It's the desert island question, but with a twist. Okay. So, you're on a desert island. You got one movie to watch for the rest of your life. Only one. That's all you're getting. But the twist for the Kevin Halden nerdly twist is you have to have remade that movie, and it's your version that you're on the island with.
The movie that made me want to be an actor, filmmaker, everything, the movie that just created this fire within me is The Fifth Element.
Wow.
With Bruce Willis.
What a film.
It's just, I don't know, it's the best thing ever. And I think it would be quite disrespectful to remake that. I'm not a big fan of remakes, but I mean, if someone was paying me to remake it, I would. So yeah, that's the one.
And are you casting yourself as Mila?
No, I'd be too old by then.
and on that bombshell, so yeah, the Romford Film Festival, Friday the 24th through to Tuesday the 28th. Absolutely get yourselves down there to see this at the Mercury Mall in Romford, London. And of course, Tuesday the 28th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m, Screen 8. We're going to be showing loads of shots, and the Interpreter is going to be in there as well. It's a fantastic watch. It's a great looking movie. It's a wonderfully acted movie, as well as Yasmine's very good in it as well. She's not too shabby. So please do everybody go and check it out, because it's a fantastic shot. And Yasmine, pitch the movie. Let everybody know why they should come and watch it.
Blimey, put me on the spot there.
Exactly. That's how I do these things.
If you're around, and if you're available on the 28th of May and you've got nothing better to do, come and watch The Interpreter, because number one, I'm in it. Number two, you might get to meet me afterwards. And I might, you might shed a tear or two.
Hopefully.
No, I think, yeah, just come and enjoy and say hi.
It's an extremely strong selection this year that we have, and to be completely honest, yours 100% deserves to be amongst that. And I really
Thank
do hope everyone comes to see it and try one of our themed cocktails at the bar. We do themed cocktails, don't you know?
I was saying the themed cocktail was much more persuasive than my elevator pitch that I just attempted a minute ago.
Yeah, every year the girls behind the bar, Charlotte and Natalie and Gillian and all that, and April, they come up with these themed cocktails based around some of the shorts and features. Sometimes it's
Oh,
a nice
wow.
little bit of hard work trying to figure out which one they're from, but they're always tasty and goddamn, they're amazing.
Wow.
So yeah, Yasmine, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for giving me your time. But most importantly, thank you for giving us your movie. I can't wait for people to see it, and I can't wait for you to be there.
Bless you. Thank you. It was lovely chatting with you as well.